Hi, welcome to Nequa Connections. My name is Rhett Montague, and this is my guest, Madison Stolzer. How are you today?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So what exactly do you do for a living?
I am a music director at School of Rock in Naperville.
Nice. And that is how we know each other.
It's true.
So what is your favorite part about your job?
Man, there's lots of things that I like about being a music director. Probably the variety of instruments that I get to teach and genres of music. I get to teach everything from funk to rock to reggae, Motown, hip hop, and so I think that's the most rewarding thing. I also like, of course, teaching students how to play.
Yeah. And what do you just play all instruments?
I play literally every instrument on planet Earth. I teach all of the instruments at School of Rock, but I'm a professional bass player, and I also teach the drums.
Nice. Do you play in any bands right now?
I do. I play right now, in addition to working, I play in a 90s cover band, which we play, every other weekend, all 90s, so before you guys were born, but it's a good time.
Yeah, do you enjoy performing with that band?
I love performing with my band, Reality Bites. Performing music is one of the most fun hobbies I've ever had, and that's been the case for 20 years.
Yeah. And what inspired you to pick up your first instrument?
That's a good question. I would say what inspired me to start playing was I wasn't really good at anything else. So this was a long time ago, right? I tried baseball, I tried skateboarding, but in 6th or 7th grade, I was really trying to find something that resonated with me. And that's when, my dad got me a miniature electric bass guitar, and I just kind of instantly gravitated towards it. Joined orchestra the next year on the big bass, on the upright bass, and just sort of took off from there.
Yeah, and you went to Nequa, right?
I did go to Nequa.
Yeah, so I heard you were pretty big in the music department there, or here.
I guess so. Yeah, I played in the music department here at Nequa. I was in the orchestra program with Chip Staley and the jazz program with Jonathan Loff. And I also was in the music theory program with Mr. Remington.
Nice. Did you enjoy your time here?
Yeah, I liked playing here. I mean, it was a really intense music program, in a good way. Not quite Whiplash levels of intense, but pretty boot camp-like, you know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot. But it was tough sometimes.
Yeah, and what was the most difficult part of that, playing an orchestra and all that?
The very high standards and expectations, especially from Mr. Staley. So there was, no excuse really to be absent or late for any rehearsals. Getting up early to be at rehearsals, at 6 a.m. sometimes. I would say that would be one of the most difficult parts.
Yeah, and what was your favorite part about being in orchestra?
Honestly, just being able to play. So even though I would say classical music wasn't my favorite type of music, I liked it better than no music. I would much rather be playing anything than doing geometry or whatever else I would have been doing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and I mean, I kept an open mind, so I learned a lot along the way. But just for 45 minutes or however long these periods are, I don't remember because it was a long time ago. But just getting the grade to literally play. I didn't have to talk to anyone, didn't have to do homework, just had to play.
Yeah, you talk about how you play all these different kinds of music, but what would you say is your favorite kind, genre of music to play?
To play? Oh. I don't know. That's a tough question. On the bass, it's probably going to be funk, Motown, hip hop, something with a lot of groove and rhythmic pocket, and it would be on the drums too. But for the drums, I guess for the drums, I like similar types of music. So anything with a groove, a pocket, a rhythmic backbone.
Yeah. And what is because you also talk about how you play all these instruments. Which one is your favorite?
I would say the the one that's the most fun is the drums, but the one that I'm the best at is the bass. So it's got to be the bass drum. No, I'm just kidding. It's the bass.
Nice. And going back to when you were in high school, you were in a band called Roslyn. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's deep lore.
Yeah. I actually played one of the songs on a podcast here, and
Which song?
What was it? It was Culture Wars, I think.
Nice, man.
Yeah. What was your favorite part about like being in that band?
I mean, that's a whole different like can of worms in a good way. Just a whole different like experience of music, a whole different avenue of music, man. Like that was all stretching the creative muscles, you know, where there's a lot of value in playing in orchestra and playing in jazz band, and even teaching at School of Rock, where you're teaching all these classic pieces, whether it's from like the Doors or the Grateful Dead or Led Zeppelin. But in Roslyn, it was writing music, and I actually mostly played the guitar and the bass in Roslyn. But yeah, writing music. There's nothing. I mean, yeah, it's creative. It was being able to express myself.
Well, yeah. So how many bands would you say you've been in throughout your life?
My whole life, dozens. You know, bands are one of those things where, like, most of the time, you know, when you're getting together with your friends, you're kind of seeing if the chemistry works. You know what I'm saying? So, like, 9 times out of 10, like, bands don't take off how you want, but that's sort of part of the process, I would say. In that, you know, you got to find the right fit with other musicians, with friends, with personalities, with music. You know. So when I say dozens, you know, it's not like dozens like Roslyn, but like only I would say maybe a handful that were like to the level of Roslyn, where we recorded records, we toured, we did lots of different things, you know, multiple years type of thing, maybe like 5 or 6 like that.
Yeah, and which one of these bands would you say you enjoy most or remember the most fondly?
Roslyn.
Roslyn, yeah. Do you have like a specific memory of being in that band that you
I can say here? So yeah, Roslyn, I mean, I was like, you know, it was a long time. I mean, rather than a specific memory, I mean, being on tour, those guys were my best friends. They still are. A lot of them still are, you know. And being on tour, like in like a 40-foot RV, just like going across the country with your friends when you're like 20, is as fun as it sounds. There's no sugarcoating it. I highly recommend like doing it whether you're in a band or you're just traveling with your friends. That kind of sense of freedom, you know, kind of being on your own in a way. That would be my fondest memory as a whole.
So you've traveled the world a lot with bands. What's like the coolest place you've played?
I played the Knitting Factory in LA, which is a big venue. I played Soma in San Diego, so Southern California is kind of one of my favorite places in the United States, and was also my favorite music scene. So I'd say there.
Yeah, well, just one last parting bit of advice. What would you give advice to anybody who's trying to like get into music?
Stay creative, and like what I said about the 9 out of 10 times failing or like it not working out, that's part of how it works. That's how it's supposed to happen. So don't get discouraged by that, and keep experimenting to find the right fit, because it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap. That seems like all the time we have today. Well, this was Nico Connections. My name is Rhett, and this is my guest, Madison. Thank you for watching.